What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to Tangents, episode 32. This is the podcast where we talk about a few things, and then we end up talking about all the things. And today...
we just don't stop.
We really don't.
Man, can I ever get my sleep on track? I don't think I'll ever... For some reason, every time on the days off, I'm ready to get to sleep on track so we can enjoy the days. And then, nothing.
What time do you wake up?
3 a.m.
Oh. I mean, yeah, but you went to sleep at 9.
Right. But then, I worked out, I got home, and I fell asleep for another hour and a half before I had to do a lot of stuff today, so...
Not bad.
Yeah, it's not bad, but, I'm feeling it for some reason. I'm feeling it.
You know.
I'm feeling it.
It's going to happen.
Feeling it like I didn't sleep enough.
It's going to happen.
It'll be hard.
You'll be alright.
So,
I believe in you.
that's, hey.
So, we got some stuff going on.
We got a few things going on. One of them I find very, very funny.
Is it the James Gunn thing?
It's got to be the James Gunn thing. Even Disney at this point is like, man, we don't know what the statute of limitations is on this bullshit, so fuck it, let's bring him back on.
Well, they even said, I saw a couple articles that so they hired James Gunn again, rehired. I didn't know you could get rehired in the movie industry.
Once you're fired.
I've never heard of someone being like, you know what, we fucked up, come back,
yeah,
do
you
the
know
thing.
what? You know what? Here's the thing. We know that you love making this series. And, it's okay, but you said some shit that people are offended about. You said some shit that was 10, 15 years ago. People not happy about this bullshit. We gotta let you go, man. We can't handle this bullshit.
Right.
Now, the problem here is one of few things, right? One, Disney being a bunch of pansies and giving into the pressure of all this, PC
outrage culture.
bullshit.
Outrage
culture. Being mad about... nothing. Being mad about literally nothing. At the end of the day...
I'm going to wait until everybody's mad about being mad.
I'm saying, yeah, right? Because here's the thing.
I don't understand. Why are you so angry
Why are you
about
so
this?
angry? Here's the thing. You're supposed to learn from history, not
dwell on it?
Dwell or be stuck in it.
Yeah.
People literally... This shit that he tweeted about was 10 to 15 years ago.
Yeah.
Somebody went out of their fucking way to search 10 to 15-year-old tweets.
It's the same thing that happened with
bring
Kevin
it
Hart.
up as a controversy.
Same exact thing that happened with Kevin Hart.
I know.
And he flat out said it. See, James Gunn, I feel like is a little more diplomatic. As weird as that sounds, I think James Gunn is a little more diplomatic. But I think Kevin Hart was like, somebody's doing this.
Right.
This isn't something that cropped up on someone's radar.
I'm saying.
Someone went out of their fucking way to find this shit
went out of
from
their
years
way.
ago.
100% went out of the way. Who the fuck pops up old-ass tweets or whatever shit that was said and was like, oh, this is offensive. I'm going to talk about it. I'm going to bring it up.
Dude,
no, you really, your life must suck.
Offensive, man.
Your life must suck if you need to go back fucking years and years back to find something somebody said so you can make it relevant. It's fucking.
I very much get on that. Gary Vee.
Yeah.
Where I was watching a video today. It was Locksmith featuring Murs. Two incredibly fucking talented rappers.
Right.
Really good song. Well done. It's got this text overlay thing that happens. It's a little glitchy.
Right.
Really well done.
Yeah.
I can't imagine someone not liking either the video or the song.
Right.
If you like hip hop and you come to watch this rap video,
right,
this is the thing.
Sure.
20 dislikes. And I'm like, how bad is that life? How bad is that life when you come to a good piece of creative work and you dislike it
for the
sake of disliking?
No, you see it all the time because even for instance, let's be serious. The Epic of Splits, the fucking Jean-Claude Van Damme Volvo commercial. That shit was great.
That was incredible.
There's 20,000 or some bullshit dislikes.
Stop it.
How much do those people hate themselves to think, one, that's not awesome, and two, it's
that's
fucking
amazing.
Jean-Claude Van Damme.
That's amazing.
He hasn't been relevant in so long, but he comes back in this age and does a split on the fucking semi.
He rematerialized. What's up, Never Old Enough? We got a podcast going on today. We do a live podcast. We broadcast live on Caffeine, and then we also distribute it to all the podcast platforms the week after. So
that's correct.
Yeah,
that's correct.
We're talking about a few things.
Right now. We're talking about James Gunn, but the podcast called Tangents, so we always go on our tangents. So we start on one conversation, somehow we end up in like 50 other conversations and come back to that one conversation.
We started with James Gunn, now we're talking about Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Because it's going back to the hate, man. It's going back to people just hating on shit for no reason. It's literally just to...
Like, there had to have been somebody who was just like, I'm mad that James Gunn is as good a director as he is. And then, like, started digging.
Yeah,
they did their little keyboard warrior thing.
But here's the thing. So this kind of plays in both ends, right? So whoever actually took their dumbass time to go back 10 to 15 years for tweets to look up what he said was offensive and bring it up as a controversy thing, that's pathetic. But number two, that shows me also how easily Disney's willing to cave to some bullshit like that and then be like, well, let's quiet down and we really like him to keep telling this story, so we're going to go ahead and rehire him and nobody's going to bring up the fact that those tweets were...
I think they tested the waters because like a few months ago they were like, we're going to use his script.
Right.
And then like no waves were made off that one, right? It was just still kind of
Thanks for joining us.
It was still kind of. It was still kind of like. Let's see what people say if we're going to use this script because like people were mad, right? People were mad.
Of course.
So like, let's see what they say when we said we're going to use this script. Right. Nobody fucking said anything except the people that were like, "Thank God."
Right.
Thank the God. Well, thank the movie gods.
I saw his tweet. And I replied. He said, "Thank you everybody for who's been behind me. I'm learning to grow as a person. Blah blah blah." And I'm like. There's nothing to apologize for. It was dumb for Disney to let you go in the first place. That was my reply to his tweet because it was dumb. It was stupid. As Disney, as a company, should have been like, this is 10 to 15 years ago. The man hasn't done this since then.
Because what
at some point he learned not to do
this.
Right?
What is
it?
Because you look at a lot of old Disney and there's some stuff there.
Right. Let's talk about Walt Disney. Is there a statute of limitation for some Walt Disney?
Like if we're gonna talk about it,
the man wasn't a saint. I don't know if you know.
The man was a supporter of the Nationalist Party, which was the Nazis.
So at the end of the day, like it's like what's the limitation? Like how far do we go back and give somebody?
Exactly. Is it 10 years? Is 10 the cutoff? Is it 20?
Is it 10 or
like
15?
We're not talking about murder. We're not talking about violence. We're not talking about anything besides some dumb shit.
No, and in all honesty, even he said it when it first brought up. He said it. I was a director who wanted to push the boundaries of shocking you. And so my tweets represented that as well. It was that shock factor that was going to have you recognize his name and what he also does in film. So there's like he's not going out of his way to be a fucking asshole to people. He's just like, it was a shock factor. Just so that way you get to fucking start talking and see who he is and stuff like that.
Just like, dude, Mad Cow.
Yeah. Oh my God, dude.
So Mancow in the Chicago area, Mancow is like he's like a baby Howard Stern.
Yeah.
Mancow pushed every boundary of actual like broadcast radio.
Bro, could you imagine if Howard Stern was to try to come out today?
I mean, there's plenty of Howard Stern starting right now, but they're starting in a niche.
Yeah,
they can't start on radio.
Right. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. Started on real radio,
right? That's what I'm saying.
And then when real radio was like, I don't know if we can show this, play this stuff anymore. Yeah. He was like, I'm gonna go to Sirius. You guys have to pay to listen to me now.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's I don't know, man. It's a world of two things. One, not just Disney, but corporations in general just caving into this stupid outrage culture.
Yeah,
like it's dumb. You got to really look at the situation and be like. I mean, I get people are outraged, but like, as a company, you should be like, you know what? We understand the outrage, but at the same time, this was many, many years ago.
I think that could have gotten them a lot of support.
Yeah, 100%. I would have respected them way more than I do now.
I think that could have gotten them to a point where you have people look at them and be like, all right, I mean, they got a point.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, I mean,
because realistically, because he's a young man now. He's only like 30, 35.
It's not
like no more. He's not older than me.
Yeah, no.
this was 10 years ago. Dude,
He
the
was in his
stuff that I
20s?
said in my
Dude,
20s, in
come
my
on,
early
bro.
20s?
Come on. Bro.
I wouldn't want people to listen to me right
dude,
now. I
I
wouldn't want to listen to me right now.
Bro, if we can go back to some of the dumb shit I said in the 20s, I'd be hanged by now.
Like,
literally. We'd go to the old ages and be like,
hang
him.
You know what it's been? You know what it's been? It's been 3 years of a lot of dumb shit.
Right.
And now we're just literally back to where we were 3 years ago. That's it. We're just back to
right. Well, there's
a
such thing. There is a such thing as people grow and learn. Like
we've done the last 3 years have accomplished nothing.
Right.
Like no one feels better because he apologized again.
No.
Because not the first time he's apologized.
No, yeah.
No one's life is better because he got fired for a few days. No. I mean, actually, you know what? I think if anything, James Gunn is the real winner here. James Gunn saw that his whole cast had his back.
Had his back, yeah. 100%.
He's the real winner.
Yeah.
Those are the people that he's gonna call when it's time to make another movie.
Yeah, dude, those four.
He's gonna call Dave Bautista. That's gonna be the first phone call he makes.
That cast and that director will always work together from there on out. Why? Because they had his back.
100%.
He has zero reason to ever believe that he wouldn't want to work with them.
Yep.
Zero.
Yep. You know what probably happened? They were probably like, "Oh, Dave Bautista's gonna leave." Like, man, like Drax is a big seller in these movies.
Drax is a big seller. He might not be.
I don't know if we can replace Drax.
He might not be like an excellent actor, but he plays Drax.
No,
and people,
might not be. He's not an excellent actor.
Right, that's what I'm saying. But, I mean, right, but I'm just saying, like.
But like he does that role.
Right,
like,
it just works for him.
I literally cannot imagine someone else doing it.
No, and I cannot imagine somebody trying to write that role for him outside of James Gunn.
Dang.
I would love to see somebody actually try to write that role for him that's not James Gunn. Right. I assure you that it wouldn't be as good, because that's the thing about James Gunn is he was able to utilize what Bautista's capabilities were and use that to write that character to make it enjoyable on screen, and he nailed it. So yeah, no, I mean I'm not saying other people can't do it, but
I'm sure it would have been a good enough movie.
Right.
But look at it this way: I don't know of another director that could make me have an emotional reaction in the same movie where you had Star-Lord playing catch with energy balls with his giant. With his planet-sized dad.
Right. Yeah.
That's a lot. It's a lot of concept to like really sell.
I mean, here's the thing.
He sold it. Like that story sold it.
Yeah. I mean, here's the thing. I personally like the first one over the second one more, but like at the end of the day, he was able to still sell you on this story, even though it seemed a little bit.
Dude, it's nuts. Look at it this way. I read comics. I've been reading comics for a long time. Right. Rocket Raccoon in the comics is a hard buy.
Right.
Like, it's talking fucking raccoon. Right. Everyone's talking to him like he's like an adult human.
Yeah.
This is a hard buy in comics.
Right.
For you to make that work on screen.
Yeah, absolutely.
You win, dude.
So yeah, so to me it's good job. How can I put this? Good job to James Gunn for getting it back. Good job for the people that support him. Good job to the cast that was willing to stick their necks out for him.
Yeah.
Shit job to Disney and other corporations who fall into this bullshit of outrage.
Yeah, the Motion Picture Association can't eat a fat one.
Yeah, so, at the end of the day, you don't know shit. So, that's as simple as that. I don't give a shit how much money they make. At the end of the day, they're weak. They are weak because they don't know how to...
Caving into this outrage culture is...
Don't get me wrong. There is 100% proper things to do to certain things.
There's a lot of
Weinstein.
There's a lot of stuff to be mad about.
Weinstein. There was no exception.
No question.
That man did not. That motherfucker didn't just say shit. He did shit, and he continued to do it into this age. Mm-hmm. So it's not like he did it 20, 30 years ago, stopped, realized he fucked up, and then it got brought up. No, he did it 20, 30 years ago.
He should face punishment. But I wouldn't say burn him to the ground.
Right, sure. But if he realized he fucked up and stuff like that, he made amends and stuff like that, that would be respectable. But he didn't. He continued to do it. He continued to fucking do these horrible fucking things. And so yeah, you're not caving in. You're taking fucking action to get rid of a virus like that.
Yeah.
But to cave.
That's a
That's
good
a
analogy.
good one. Yeah.
It's a good analogy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck him.
You like that.
Fuck him and his virus.
But to allow yourself to be manipulated due to this outrage culture because somebody got upset over fucking something that was said 10 to 15 years ago. Get the fuck out of here, man. That's such a weak thing to do. It's insane. Get out of here, man.
Yeah.
That's dumb. So yeah, good luck to James. I can't wait to see his next movie, and I can't wait to see what other shit he does outside of Guardians. And I honestly much respect to the cast for sticking out their necks for something that could have easily, maybe necessarily bit them in the ass, due to how these corporations or whatever how Disney wanted to react to that. So they're willing to, at the end of the day, they're willing to let a guy go for some dumbass outrage. Who knows, what they would have done. Luckily, nothing stupid like that happened. But yeah, I hope that relationship is a strong relationship between the director and that cast, because if they're willing to do that, I feel like there's a strong relationship there.
Yeah.
That's only going to benefit us later down the future, because you're talking about great actors and a great director that work together. That can only mean great stuff.
That's like is it Spielberg and
DiCaprio? Yeah.
I don't think they've ever made a bad movie.
No, because they love it. They love working.
They're really good friends.
And I don't blame them.
Just like who was gonna, what's his face, Shaun of the Dead. That whole.
Oh yeah, those guys will never.
What is the director's name?
I forgot.
But yeah. When they said, "Oh, we're gonna hire back, we're gonna hire James Gunn back," and I was like, "Can we go back and hire him for?"
I know, right?
Ant-Man.
I know, right?
I feel like that would have been a better movie.
Fucking shit.
I feel like it was a good movie, but it wasn't a good movie. It was good enough.
It was good enough. But
so sticking in the Marvel universe, we'll change to our next topic here. Captain Marvel, really good movie.
Yeah,
I had a good time.
Yeah, I loved it.
I think everyone had a good time.
We said this last time.
I think
it was an amazing movie.
Let's see, box office. Let's take a look at box office real quick.
I haven't checked. I'm hoping
I mean, it's killing. I think third week top of the charts.
Yeah,
760. 760.
Yeah.
They're doing a great job.
I said if it did 750 or less, it would have been a shame. So it's already beating what is not a shame.
Yeah, if it under 750, but it did 460 the first week.
Yeah, the first week. So no,
I wouldn't matter about it at all. 100%. Domestically, it's up. Domestically, it's up to 264, which I'm happy about.
Yeah, I'm happy about that too.
I want to touch on the quote-unquote plot holes. So I watched a video by... I'm going to open this video again so that I don't lose my place in my comments.
Yeah.
Because I've seen so many comments and like
Why
videos.
Don't you just copy the link from the video and make it easier for yourself.
That's fair. Did you break something?
No, I'm just...
Oh, I thought you like cracked a knuckle, and I was like, bro. I watched a channel called Aggressive Comics. She did a review called Every Plot Hole in Captain Marvel. And it was just like the fucking straw that broke the camel's back, because I had just seen so many posts and people being like, the Tesseract, how did the Tesseract get there? I don't understand how they have the Tesseract. And I was just like, as she started talking, I just had to pause and literally time code respond to every single point she was making.
Right.
Because I was just mad about it.
Right.
Not at her. She was doing a great job. She made like solid points, but like it just felt like they were uninformed. It felt like somebody who wasn't aware of the full MCU storyline.
Right, somebody who wasn't clearly paying attention to movies as they were watching.
Right, and for a movie that's about the plot holes and the details, I was like, how do you miss the details?
Right.
So I had to respond. So I just want to touch on a couple of the things that I touched on. First thing, Captain Marvel's OP. She said that so because she's powered by the Tesseract, right? She says that she's got no weaknesses and she just destroys everything. And I'm like,
that's not true.
No.
We've seen her get captured by being zapped.
Right. I was like, hitting the dome, like just a punch in the back of the head will take her down. Right. Like it's not like she's without weaknesses. It's not like, because she was saying that she's on the power level of Thanos with the gauntlet.
No.
And I'm like, was there ever a point where she could snap her fingers and disappear half the universe. Right. That's not a thing. No. So like she's and like people talk about like, oh, she like ripped through that armada. Yeah, because they're spaceships designed to fight spaceships.
Right.
I imagine that the targeting system's not even precise enough to shoot something the size of a human being.
Right. It's basically trying to shoot at an ant at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
dumb. Take your gun as a human and try to shoot an ant.
Right.
You can't.
Right.
Because it's designed to shoot a person.
Right.
Like,
no, it's dumb. That's
like
dumb.
This thing's designed to shoot at barns.
No, I've heard multiple. I've never watched any of the videos, but I've heard multiple times where somebody said like this person saying she's overpowered, and I'm sitting there, I'm like, how is she overpowered? Like, she can be killed easily.
And then the flip side, she was talking about, oh, she gets her powers from the Tesseract. And I was like, she doesn't get her powers from the Tesseract. She was saying like, why doesn't she have powers like teleportation and all the stuff that the Space Stone does? Because that's what the Tesseract
right.
does. She's like, it really looks like she's got powers from the Power Stone. And I'm like, that's where we're confused.
Right.
She didn't get her powers from the Tesseract.
Right.
She got her powers from the explosion of a device that was designed to channel and redirect the energy of the Tesseract. Right. And shockingly, she has powers that channel and redirect like energy.
Right.
I don't know. Seems pretty on point.
Seems exactly what they explained.
Didn't seem. I was just like, what?
Seems exactly what they explained in the movie.
I was just like,
I mean, you know, just the entirety of the movie that they explained.
And like it's almost like, and they're just like, oh, the origin is completely weird, and I'm like, it's a different machine, but like, machine blows up, she gets powers. That's the exact origin from the comics.
Right.
Like, it was just a different machine meant to do a different thing.
And it was a little different, like you said. It was you told me this, and this is the only reason I know this is because the only difference is Marvel was holding her, and when the explosion went, it went through him, and then she got his powers or whatever.
Which is like the Superman effect.
Yeah, the Superman effect.
Which has happened like four to seven times. Why isn't everyone doing it every other week?
I don't know.
If I was Lex Luthor, I would just be like, I'm going to stand right here, shoot him with the thing.
Never lose
Super Lex.
Super Lex.
Like, it just seems like something that's happened before. I feel like you would have picked up on it by now. It's
happened on Flash too.
And then the big one is the Tesseract.
Right.
How did Pegasus have the Tesseract? There's a scene in the movie where they walk in the building, her and Fury, and there's a sign, and it says Pegasus Project, NASA, SHIELD.
Right.
It's a joint operation between NASA and SHIELD. Howard Stark was the last one that had it, right? At the end of Captain America, you see with the machine, the claw grabs it.
Yeah.
In the Agent Carter
TV series.
one shot, which follows the series. It happens a little bit after the series. He calls her and says, hey, how would you like to come run S.H.I.E.L.D. with me?
Right.
So thus, Howard Stark found
S.H.I.E.L.D. in the
1940s? Yeah, in the 1940s. Howard Stark, who had the Tesseract, we've already established that, founded S.H.I.E.L.D. So then...
Have a good one.
Have a good one. Thanks for hanging out. I don't understand why it's confusing to people that the Tesseract got into S.H.I.E.L.D.'s hands.
No, I don't know. I have no idea what the confusion is.
There's like, I just literally this morning saw a video that was like, the timeline of the Tesseract. And I was like, what timeline?
Once again, it's people not paying attention to the movies.
Like, it's all been pretty blatantly explained.
I feel like a lot of people go into these movies and they're like, thinking about other shit and twiddling on their fucking phones instead of actually paying attention to what's happening on the screen.
It's what? Like,
because like it clear as fucking day, everything's been explained the whole time.
Yeah. Her one thing, and I can say that this is the thing that was retconned, but again, not by this movie, because she said that a bunch of stuff got retconned when none of it did. She said that S.H.I.E.L.D. wasn't called S.H.I.E.L.D. till 2008 because of the whole Iron Man thing, right? Strategic homeland thing, and then at the end of the movie, he's like, just call it S.H.I.E.L.D. Right. So even if that were true originally...
But he never said that they just started.
Sure. But even if that were true...
Right.
And that's where it was originally...
Sure.
Agent Carter retconned that, the one shot, because he calls her and says, how would you like to run S.H.I.E.L.D. with me?
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
It was retconned 2011, 2012?
Yeah.
So 10 years ago?
Right.
I don't get it. I don't get a lot of the...
People don't pay attention.
Yeah, I don't get a lot of the stuff, man. I just don't get a lot of the stuff. There's
nothing to get, man. People don't pay attention. It was the same thing that I was bitching about last time we talked about Captain Marvel. I said there was a bunch of dumbass kids behind me that wouldn't shut the fuck up the whole movie. And literally after the movie ends, I'm sitting there. It's time to leave. The credits are running. I know there's gonna be a after credit scene. And sure enough, motherfucker, before that end credit scene comes up, he's like, I can't believe we watched this. I didn't understand any of it. I'm like, because maybe if you shut the fuck up and watch the fucking movie and pay attention, guess what? You would understand everything. Pay attention to the movie instead of talking.
As you said that, I realized. Remember last time I said that there was a movie that happened to me, but I couldn't remember what it was. It was Arrival.
Arrival.
The Amy Adams one.
No, I know. I'm just trying to.
With the space aliens?
No, I'm just trying to remember it all. Yeah. Yeah, no, it's a great movie.
With the time loop, right?
Yeah, it's a great movie.
Dude, literally, like, this bro dude stands up and he's like, I don't get it. And I just looked at him and was like, not surprising.
Not surprising.
We walked away. I was like, what?
I don't get it.
I was like, they pretty much spelled it out.
They explained everything.
Like, dude, you don't get it till, like, the end.
When they
explained it, I was like, oh, shit.
When they showed it off, I was like, genius. Yeah, it's been a while since a movie.
The whole you exist.
Yeah.
Because at the beginning, they set that up with, like, they exist at all time frames.
Not gonna lie to you, I normally catch shit really fast. Like, I can pick it out almost within a quarter of the movie. That was the first movie in a long time that I actually didn't think to myself, like, I know what's happening.
Right.
And then they started playing into it, I was like, no fucking way.
Yeah.
I was like, this is
That was a solid movie, but, like, they explained it. Like, it was confusing at 100%. First, but that was the point.
100%.
Great movie. Oh, also, one of the things she brought up, and I didn't bring it up to her, but I'll bring it up now. She was talking about how... Two things. She was talking about how... Captain Marvel did not seem kind of touching on the whole, like, everyone complaining that she didn't show emotions in the trailers.
Okay.
And I would actually say that even in the movie, she wasn't really overly emotional.
No.
But you also have to remember that she has no memories.
Right, she has no memories.
Up till 6 years ago.
Correct.
And the last 6 years she spent with a culture that keeps telling her, apparently every frickin' day when she goes training, to chill.
Yeah, to check
and
herself.
Not fucking be emotional.
Yeah, it's to check herself.
So, to assimilate and not get called out and not get fucking...
Correct. Her emotions have to be in check.
Right.
Yeah.
So, it makes sense to me.
That she didn't have emotions?
That she didn't really show a lot of outward emotions, that she wasn't really animated.
Yeah, no shit, because they
Plus, it also goes deeper. It's a deep cut to the comics, because on several occasions now, which is like a really weird fucking thing that I don't know why they keep doing it.
Right.
When Rogue took her powers originally,
yeah,
she lost all her memories.
Yeah.
And she lost all the emotional attachment to those memories.
Right.
Xavier helped her regain the memories, but not the emotional attachment to them.
Thank you, Natasha.
Thanks for the share, Natasha. So then there was this period of time where she, like, her big thing was, I remember, it means nothing.
Right.
And then recently, the same thing happened. When she was fighting Jan Rog again, she had to... he made another machine. Right. Like, it was kind of like a rebirth of the origin. Right. But it did the same thing.
Listen,
it, like, cut her emotions.
Here's the thing.
So she's, like, best friends with Spider-Woman. And she talks about she's, like, best friends. All the internal monologue is, like, I don't know that.
All this shit like, people are getting upset about over this fucking movie. Even the fact that she is Captain Marvel and not somebody else. But nobody has yet bitched that Marvel is a woman.
How is this not a thing?
The first Captain Marvel
blows me away.
In the Marvel Universe, the male, nobody's bitching about it.
Blows me away.
Everything else.
Blows me away.
Everything else.
I don't care.
I don't give a shit
I thought it was a really good turn.
I thought it was great. Like, when they said Marvel, I was like, nice.
I was like... No shit.
I was like, good job. You did that.
But I was just like, literally in my head at that moment, I'm like, the internet
the internet's going to explode. Yeah, 100%. 100%.
But no.
Nope. Nobody fucking...
People, like, they've mentioned
You know why?
But no one does, like, whole videos about it.
You know why? You know why? Because I guarantee you a lot of them that were bitching, like, she's not Captain Marvel, don't even know who the original Marvel or Captain Marvel was in Marvel.
They don't know that he's called Marvel.
Yeah.
And maybe they didn't.
Nope.
Because Lawson was his alias as well, just a different first name.
Yeah.
That's funny. That's a good point.
Yeah, I guarantee you.
A couple of the
So like you're sitting here and bitching that it was a female Captain Marvel, but yet you didn't even know why Captain Marvel was Captain Marvel because his name was Marvel. Marvel sounds better. Like
the whole so the guy I was watching, the young rep of 59.
Yeah.
I unsubscribed.
Oh.
I don't very often unsubscribe.
You don't.
You look at my main list, my like personal list is huge.
Yeah.
But he just wouldn't let it go. He made like 6 videos about this already.
Oh, Jesus.
And it was like it was like where they got it wrong.
Right.
That's fine because he seems like a comic book purist.
Right.
Which is fine. And I get that perspective.
Right.
People who like it's like their freaking Bible,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Like
yeah,
this is how it should be.
Okay, yeah.
So I understand that perspective.
Yeah, but the only argument towards that is this is a different universe.
Right, but that's not even enough for him. So like to me, but again, I understand that perspective. If you're a comic book purist, just like people who saw,
but then you're not a comic book purist because if you were a comic book purist, you'd understand that this is a different universe. Just
right,
like
but
the comic books have a different universe.
Sure, but I'm saying like maybe they're not into those stories, like alternate universe.
Oh, sure, yeah.
But I'm saying like he's like 616, like primary universe, primary Marvel purist, right?
Sure.
And I get that perspective, just like the people who read Lord of the Rings books, and they were just like, this didn't happen in the book, or whatever, this
right.
was, whatever.
Yeah, okay.
I get that.
Yeah.
You had an experience with that property.
Right.
That's where your emotions are.
Right.
What I couldn't get behind is he did this whole video, and I watched it twice, because I'm like, am I just like missing something?
Right.
He did this whole thing where basically he complained about the fact that they made Monica young.
Oh yeah, you told me this. Yeah.
And that she looked up to her. First, they combined her character and another character from the recent Captain Marvel comics.
Right.
Which is a young girl who. That's why she called her Lieutenant Trouble.
Sure.
And I didn't catch that until right at the end.
Right.
Where she did it like for the second or third time. Because that was what she calls this little girl in the modern comics, who's just like a little blonde girl.
I got you.
Who looks up to her, and that's the whole thing. And I was like, right, but like now it's not a throwaway character that thinks that.
Right, exactly.
Because like that little girl is nobody in the comics.
Right.
Whereas this character is going to grow up to become either Captain Marvel or
something,
or
some kind of hero.
Oh my God, I'm blanking on her current name.
It's fine.
Anyway,
it's fine.
Spectrum. So she's going to grow up to become a superhero.
Right.
Potentially. I mean, I guess they could not do it, but that'd be stupid. It makes sense to merge that character. It makes sense to bring her up, like kind of in that legacy and make it make it a female legacy, because then they could also down the line introduce Phyla-Vell, which could be the only daughter clone, whatever, because Genis Vell was the other guy, Captain Marvel. I don't know. I couldn't get behind it. Like, and I was scrolling through my recommendations and on my phone, and it was like the racist something or something, the racist way Marvel treated the Black Captain Marvel.
Oh, man.
And I was just
done.
I was just like, and it wasn't him, it was like somebody else, but I was just not interested.
Not interested at all.
Not interested.
Not interested, no.
Because they didn't.
No.
Because that's not a thing that happened.
Not interested at all in that. That's just dumb. No, I mean, listen, if anybody's bitching that they didn't understand the movie, you just didn't watch the movie. And I would highly implore you to rewatch.
Watch it again. Watch it again. Spend some more money from Captain
Not
Marvel,
even
please.
just that. Not just that movie. Rewatch every movie you have ever watched, because I'm pretty sure if you didn't catch what this movie was telling you, you probably missed out on a lot of good movie stories. Like, you probably think one thing and you're completely wrong. Because if you couldn't get the basics of this, holy shit, I can only imagine other movies that they actually watch that have such a deeper meaning and a story behind it, and they were just probably not like realizing that.
Yeah.
So if you're one of those people that didn't understand this movie, go rewatch this movie and everything else you've watched, because you probably didn't understand properly a lot of your other movies that you watched.
No,
it's just dumb. It's just dumb, man. It's once again, it's what I just said. It's what I said is, people just don't pay attention.
Yeah.
People watch this shit, but they do not actually watch it.
Yeah.
And there's a difference between
and listen,
sitting
like
there
I've
and
missed
watching
stuff before, But I've never been like, oh, they screwed up the whole thing because they didn't do this X, Y, Z.
Right.
Like, that just is what it is. Like, you can first of all, you can change your opinion on something.
Well,
so
even
if you, I mean, like, we debated for 2 years about Batman v Superman.
Right.
And I finally like found a way to reconcile it in my opinion.
Yeah.
It's just a universe where Batman is more emotional than he is in other places.
Yeah.
It makes more sense now.
Right.
Like, that's all it was to me. It was just like finding a way to like rationalize it. Like, to me, I was basing everything on the comics and certain ways that I was looking at certain things.
Sure.
But when you look at it from a different perspective, you find a new way to appreciate it.
Yeah.
That's that, and I think people just don't take that step.
No, I don't think at all that happens. And, you know, it is what it is, but... Hey, listen, at the end of the day, they're still making their money, which means I'm going to get at least one more, so... And if they do the same thing, I'll be very happy.
Oh, so. That was the third thing I was going to talk about. So to go back to James Gunn.
Yeah.
So, remember how we had talked... Remember we had talked about Idris Elba being cast as Deadshot?
Yeah.
It's a reboot.
The whole Suicide?
The whole movie is a reboot.
Wow. DC, man. DC.
One of the producers flat out said it. They're like, it's not a sequel. It's like, I don't know why people are calling it a sequel. It's a complete reboot. And I was like, oh. Okay. So, but I think it's going to come out before Flashpoint. So they're not really, I guess they're not concerned about the timeline.
No. They've officially given up about...
I was just like, what?
They have 100% have given up on... They're literally going back to the 90s where it just didn't matter.
I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And
that's a shame. That's a shame.
About?
That's a damn shame because, in all honesty, it just didn't show... Like, here's the thing. I had zero issues with any of their movies.
Suicide Squad wasn't good, but...
Suicide Squad wasn't a good movie, but whatever, I still got my...
It was enjoyable.
I still got my enjoyment out of it. It wasn't a good movie, though. But, like, I had little bits and things here that I could say, you know, I wasn't necessarily 100% with. But
go lie down.
But, like, the actual movies, I loved. I enjoyed them greatly. Especially the ones with like Superman, Batman and Superman, all that. Like, I loved them. I had no problems with those movies. So, for them to not be able to just kind of get... Once again, it's a company giving into the hate because it's just like they know the hate's there, and even though they know, and even like, for instance, they even said to Ben Affleck when they cast him, it's like, there's going to be a lot of hate, you know, a lot of people, but we just want you to be prepared because we're on board. As long as you're on board, we don't care. But it's like, it seems like you do care. Because if you cannot properly, like, the only guy so far that's been 100% on this has been Henry Cavill. Henry Cavill has no fucking problems playing Superman from what I can tell, for the longest time possible. And I don't blame him. It's a great character to play. He gets to play him on multiple levels, and not just being a comic book superhero, but he actually plays a character that has emotion and stuff, so he can really bring in that dramatic acting in. And it's like, to me, it's just, I just don't understand this BS that they're having with, like, hey, we hired Ben Affleck because he's going to play an older Batman. Oh, well, we had him for 2 movies.
2.5.
Two and a
quarter.
2.25. It's like, that's great, but like, your universe should be
by the way,
a lot more than 2.25.
And then on top of that, apparently Ezra Miller is writing the Flash script with Mark Millar, who is an incredible writer in comics.
Jesus.
But apparently as a bid to keep his job.
What?
Because apparently maybe it's not secure.
Jesus Christ.
I was like, what the fuck is happening?
Has that been...
He said he's doing it, and he said he's doing it to keep his job.
Wow.
And I was just like, what? Yeah, so what the guy says, he said, first of all, we don't call it Suicide Squad 2 because it's a total reboot, so it's the Suicide Squad. Which is called the same thing.
Here's
and
my
I think people should be extremely excited about it. That's one of the producers.
Yeah, I'll be extremely excited about it when you don't fuck up the Joker. here's the thing. I don't want Idris to be Deadshot because I want him to be fucking Green Lantern. I'd rather him be fucking Green Lantern. A guy that's going to be there with the Justice League, going to be with a few movies, have his own movie. I don't want him to be fucking part of Suicide Squad. I don't want him to be Deadshot. Damn it.
I think there are better roles. I think he'd be an incredible Jon Stewart.
I'm saying.
Like,
he's got way more chops than fucking to play Deadshot, man. Come on. Come on. That's some... Ah, no, man. You got a guy like that, and that's what you're going to cast him as? Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
What a fucking letdown.
Yeah, it says... so this is from The Hollywood Reporter. It's an exclusive, apparently. In a bid to keep himself involved as a Scarlet Speedster, Ezra Miller is taking a hands-on approach. He's taking a stab at writing the script for Warner Brothers. He has teamed... I'm sorry, Grant Morrison. Grant Morrison, who wrote... Kick-Ass.
Right. I mean, he's written other things, though.
Lots of other things, but like that's just the one.
I was like, I recognize that name.
Am I crazy? Am I a liar right now? Grant Morrison. He wrote a lot of Doom Patrol. That's facts. He wrote All-Star Superman, JLA Earth 2, JLA Classified, Seven Soldiers, Bibliography. There it is. That's the one I'm looking for. Thank you. Not Marvel UK, DC. He did a bunch of Batman. He Batman and Robin. He Batman Incorporated.
Right.
He did a bunch of The Flash. He did a bunch of Justice League. Seven Soldiers. He did Final Crisis.
Right.
Nope, I was wrong. He did not do. I don't think he did Kick-Ass.
But
I think Mark Millar did Kick-Ass. Actually,
I mean, but that just sounds like he's just trying to be more involved with the movie. I don't think it's to keep his job. I think that what that sounds like to me is he wants to really bring out this character, and so to be more involved, to really understand the character. That's what I'm getting from that. Like he wants to be more involved to understand where this character is going and what it's about. So I'm okay with that.
It says the development has bubbled up from a clash of creative visions. John Francis Daly and Jonathan Goldenstein, who have been on board the project since January 2018, have taken a light-hearted approach to the material, and even hail from that sort of background with credits like Homecoming and Game Night.
Right.
And as sources note, that is the general track favored by Warner's, which scored a $1 billion hit with Aquaman, by going the fun spectacle route, and is seeing strong buzz on Shazam, which is wearing its superheroics is fun on its sleeve.
Sure. But not all the characters have to be fun, though. Like, you can leave Batman to be dark, because Batman is dark. I've never played a game. I've never watched a TV show. I've never watched a movie with Batman. I've never read a comic with Batman where it doesn't feel dark.
Yeah, no.
Like, Batman is a dark fucking character.
Fun Batman, which is that Batman Brave and the Bold series.
Right. No, you don't do that. Don't do that.
Dumb.
Don't
it's
do
for
that.
Kids.
A dark Batman, Ben Affleck's Batman, can be in this universe. That doesn't mean that every character. That would be a great. I mean, that would literally be the comics, because you have fun characters, and Batman's always the guy that's like never cracks a smile.
Except for a few moments of like, it's clearly daytime.
Yeah,
it's like,
right.
It's like the silver lining on all the clouds.
Right.
Every single Batman comic takes place in the night.
I'm saying.
Because he's Batman.
He's Batman. He fights in the dark. Like, that's the point.
He is a ninja. Like, it doesn't make sense to have him be out in the daylight.
But he doesn't have to be. Don't make him comedic either, because Batman's not comedic. He's always serious. Like, anytime you see him with the Justice League, everybody's cracking jokes, and he's sitting there like
he's standing.
Like
he's standing. He's doing his shit.
He's not laughing. He's not.
Although they did in the recent comics, they made him a little more fun. But again, still very much like the straight man.
Right. That's fine
else.
if he says something that makes us laugh, but like he's a dick. Like when he told Aquaman, "I hear you talk to fish." That is a Bruce Wayne thing to say. That is a Batman thing to say. Like, we laughed, but he was being a dick. Like,
Hey, you talk to fish.
Yeah, like it's just it's
cold, Bruce.
So
cold.
At the end of the day, you know, I'm super happy that they want to make some of these characters lighthearted. They should. Like Shazam makes sense to me, but and even Flash would make sense to me, and fuck, even Aquaman worked out. But like, Superman can be a little bit more bright, but it doesn't have to be like full. It doesn't have to be like crazy comedic. Like, it can be lighter though. But Batman should stay dark. Batman 100% should stay dark because
it
he
says
is.
if Ezra Miller's, if Daly and Goldstein, the two writers,
Yeah.
if their lighthearted script is chosen, Miller may leave the superhero project.
Oh wow. Interesting. Well, whatever. I mean, it is what it is.
Does it make sense?
I don't know. I mean, creative differences, man. Creative differences. It's going to happen.
I mean, I guess.
Yeah,
I don't know.
It'll happen.
I don't know.
But it's dumb. That's dumb.
It's very dumb. Although I told you right off the bat that they really made Barry kind of weird to me.
They did make Barry weird. I mean, I'm not even going to lie. I don't know much.
It's literally never been a portrayal of Barry in any version.
Yeah.
And it was kind of, and it's really not a portrayal of any of the Flashes. That's
think-
kind of always been the Flash's thing. Is the Flash is everyone's friend.
Can we both say?
So for him to be like, I'm already friends.
Can we both agree though that his run was weird? I don't know why he ran like that.
Yeah, like, he's like
Yeah,
skating.
but his legs were like.
Yeah, he's like skating.
Like, it was weird. It was
He's
weird.
literally like skating.
I guess.
Like rollerblading.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a little weird. But I mean, listen. I hope it doesn't come down to that, because that just means then like you're literally playing essentially what you're doing, what you did in the '90s, where every movie is going to have a different actor playing the same character.
Listen. Give me a Flashpoint movie. Have him start and recast him at the end.
Yeah, if that's what you want to do.
If you're going to recast him,
Yeah.
make something happen.
Yeah.
Because then, I don't care. All the other movies can happen.
Right.
Then you can recast whoever the fuck you want.
Yeah. I mean, it sucks to hear that there's creative differences. I mean, that's the only reason that, you know, you would leave if you don't, you know, if they get the script and you don't, like, that tells me there's a creative difference there.
Yep.
So, yeah, I don't know. We'll see what happens, but it's really dumb to... I don't know. It's dumb. I feel like DC isn't doing a bunch of good things when it comes down to actors. So,
dude, they're talking about that the estimate for Shazam, and I don't know why, but it's low. The opening weekend estimate is, and they're like excited about it, might hit 40 million opening weekend.
holy shit.
Because like every article that I've seen about it, it's like super positive. Like,
Yeah.
it might even hit 40 million. I was like, what?
They should hit way more than
40 million? Like,
it just doesn't make sense.
that's a drama. Like, that's not a superhero
Well,
movie.
that's what's weird to me. Well, here's the thing, though. I've heard some
Because I don't want it to be the Ant-Man of the DC universe.
Well, yeah, no, me too. But here's what's weird to me is I've heard some people say, like, it just looks like a weird movie. And I'm like, what are you talking about? This is exactly what everybody was bitching about. You want lighthearted. This is about as lighthearted as it's going to get. It's a kid playing a superhero.
Yeah.
Like,
That's Shazam eyes 40 million plus opening weekend.
I hope it eyes way more than that.
I hope it. And it carries an $80 million production budget. By the way, that's super cheap.
That's crazy.
That's super cheap.
That's
For a
crazy.
superhero movie? Holy
Yeah.
shit. Less
Like-
than half of the cost to make Aquaman. Yeah, because there's not water everywhere.
Everywhere.
Like, it's a
But
little
no,
different.
But that's great because, to be fair, that's awesome.
Then
Because,
it's all it's got to hit is 200
right.
to like be profitable.
Right, and at the end of the day, if it does hit 200 or more, that means they've made back some money they might have lost on previous movies. So,
Right.
you know, that
Yeah, I
really
mean,
helps that.
keeping a budget low like this, I think that's the way to go.
100%, 100%.
Because even with something like Iron Man, even with something like Black Panther,
Right.
we got to remember that a lot of the hero shots were still CG. Even
Yeah.
though you had them in suit.
Yeah.
Like I've seen some.
Yeah,
I've
this
seen,
is
you watch
obviously-
the BTS of like Black Panther.
Yeah.
He's in suit.
Yeah.
But then when he's in movie, they rebuilt him in total.
Yeah. No, I know.
Like
No, that's why a lot of this looks practical. and I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be fine. Like, even when he jumps up in the air, when he tries to fly and drops back down, like, it looks almost practical, and I'm okay with that. I'm fucking, man.
Right.
If that's,
I'm okay with it.
I'm
never gonna be mad about
no,
practical
not at
effects.
all. I'm super excited. I'm super excited to watch the movie. I think
Like, he legit looks like they just like put some LEDs in that shit.
Yeah, right.
Like,
but he
we're gonna have some lightning, obviously, and stuff. But like, it just doesn't look like.
Yeah. But I'm super stoked because it looks like it's gonna be funny.
That's what I'm excited about.
Like,
I'm excited to have a really good time.
Yeah.
What's the last movie that we went to see where it was just really fucking funny in theaters?
Oh man, I couldn't.
Like,
I mean, I didn't get it. I
usually watch the serious shit.
Yeah, I
you know?
couldn't. Last time, like, I missed on Super Rich Asians. I missed out on that.
Yeah, I wanted to see
I
that.
really wanted to see that, and I missed out. And I'm really mad at that. And I missed out on freaking Kevin Hart and Brian. Yeah, I missed that movie too.
Yeah, that was probably funny.
That was probably. I mean, I'm sure it was a mixture of two things.
Let me see. I wonder if I can maybe see my.
But that I missed out on that too, and that was. But yeah, no, there's absolutely zero reason why it should why it shouldn't make money. So I mean, it's weird that it's such a. It's too weird to me. It's such a weird low number. Like, right. It's looking to hit 40 million. Like, people are excited. I'm like, what? Like, it should hit way more than that. But yeah, I mean, it is what it is. But speaking of money. Why don't we talk about while you're looking at this? Let's talk about some money. Let's talk
it's
about
all dark. It's fucking all dark.
Yeah. Let's talk about some money. Let's talk about gaming stuff here. Some gaming news. I watched Philip DeFranco's story on this, so this is how I learned about it. But apparently, so there was a recent news that came out. Somebody leaked it. Ninja didn't say it, or Apex didn't say it, but somebody leaked it.
Probably why.
That Ninja and other streamers were paid. Ninja apparently about $1 million was paid to play Apex on launch, and some people said, "Hell yeah, make that money." And then there was some people like, why would you pay that much money for a guy playing a video game? And
there was also people that thought it was a bad move financially because it got picked up. It's a good game. Yeah, but it also got picked up because they paid a bunch of people.
Exactly.
They were like,
sure, I played it because I was going to test it out and see how it was, and it ended up being good.
And it's one of my favorite universes.
It's one of my so
it's like of the 3 game universes that I'm really like invested in.
Yeah,
that's one of them.
Yeah, absolutely. So. For me and you, it's different because we're gamers and we would have played it anyways and tried it out. Plus, it's a free game, so like you can't really beat that part of it. But there is such thing to be said about paying for advertising, and I'm sorry, I don't give a shit who you are, but Ninja gets easily every time I've watched him just to see what he's doing or how he's playing, and it really I only watch him when he does Apex, so that way I can see how ridiculous he really is. He's always got like 40,000 plus people watching him. That's just absurd. That's insane. Granted, like when he first got huge with Fortnite, he had like over 1 million views or something like that, or 1 million people watching him, or some weird number. And so that's crazy. But like, there's something.
He had when he did the Drake thing, he had like 1.3 million.
Yeah. That's true. So, but there's something to be said. Like, there's no way. I mean, even Philip DeFranco talked about it. He said, like, there's been clear data showing that money that goes into having these guys, like, going into social media and social influencers, if that's what you want to call them, throwing money into them ends up paying out big time. Like, huge.
Dude,
so,
especially
like,
for something like this, this is a short-term marketing expense.
100%.
Even if they, let's say it was him, let's say 10 other guys got $500K.
Right.
So $6 million in total.
Right.
$6 million marketing budget to get, let's say, for the first week.
Right.
What? 500 million views?
Oh yeah.
That's cheap.
Yeah. 100%.
Sorry.
Yeah. No.
It's to like get it basically guaranteed 500 million views.
I'm saying.
Good.
And so,
no,
like, to me,
no ad campaign can guarantee that.
To me, the biggest thing is that I don't really care that you know, how much they spend and how much he got paid, like, good for him. You know, he got paid that money because...
I mean, he got paid $1,000.
Right.
Which he shouldn't ever
right,
for anything.
No,
like,
yeah, no. I mean, the guy's been on major commercials, and he's clearly working with major companies.
All I want to say is if EA wants to give me $100 to play a game, I'll play that game.
But to me, it's not even like the money. To me, it's still weird to see that people don't really believe that people like Ninja or just people on YouTube or streamers that it's not relevant or it's not a job or it's not. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, are you confused about, like, till this day I'm like, people must be confused what a job is. Just because they don't hate their job doesn't mean it's not a job.
It's not even that. It's just that
it's like,
I think with something like streaming, with something even like, you know, video production online, like YouTube, streaming, podcasting, all that stuff it's intangible. It's not like you do X to get Y money.
Right.
It's just not. Like, eventually, when you get, like, a specific amount of views and that kind of stuff,
sure.
then you can kind of translate that.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I think for most people, they don't understand that how making a video of you talking to a camera, literally nothing else, makes you $1,000.
Right. No, I mean, listen, I understand.
They don't comprehend.
Right. They don't comprehend, and here's the thing, and even I, to myself, like, just watching videos where people are just constantly talking into the camera, like, to me, that's not necessarily entertaining. I mean, unless it's a subject matter, if it's like a podcast, like Joe Rogan stuff, like, that's a podcast. They're having a conversation between each other.
Right, but I mean, like, people don't get that.
Right, so, like, to me, that's a whole different thing. But, like, when it comes down to, like, for instance, I'm a big car guy, so I always look for car videos. And when I look at a title and I see a thumbnail and it says, oh, you know, this car, I just got this car, blah, blah, blah. I'm expecting to see mostly that car and you talking about it.
Right.
But I want to see mostly that car. Like 90% of that video should be that car. Even if your voice is still in that, I should still see 90% of the video of that car. But no, it's the opposite way around. I see maybe 10% video of the car, 90% of this person's face just talking to the camera. And to me, that's not good content. Now, don't get me wrong. Has that person still taken the time to make a video and talk about a subject and utilize...
That's just not content you enjoy.
Yeah,
and that's
but
fine.
It's just not, right, it's just not content I enjoy. But that doesn't mean I don't look at it as content or something that somebody shouldn't get paid for. Some people out there do enjoy that. Me, when I'm looking at a subject matter, I want to see that subject.
Right.
Like, when I'm listening to a podcast or I'm watching a podcast, I know what I'm doing. I'm watching two people talk. That's it. That's what I'm there for. Right. Like, I'm not there, or, listening to two people talk or watch.
But even like something like a movie review, right?
Right.
That's basically just somebody talking to a camera.
100%.
But, like, it's hard for people to understand that how, like, you sitting there talking about why you liked or didn't like or whatever a movie makes money.
Yeah.
And, like, they don't
get
that's
it. Why...
But then, like, you give them examples, and it's like, well, there's a guy, he sits at a desk, and there's a lot of big cameras around him, and he tells you what happened today, and he makes $500,000 a year.
Right.
How is that not the same thing?
Right.
Like,
yeah, but to them, it's like, I don't know. I think it has to be, I think there's a few things that play into it. One, it's, that's TV. Those are the movies. That's not the same thing as YouTube.
Two things.
And to me, that's kind of dumb way of looking at it.
It's dumb.
And the other thing to me is, it's like, I think they just don't take it seriously when it comes down when it's on the internet. Yeah. And that's weird.
Yeah.
Just because it's like...
I mean, the internet is like it's a nebulous place, right? Like, you have a lot of people... I mean, we're working in tech support. We hear, like, where is the cloud? Right. Well,
I think
like, you put it in the cloud.
Right.
And people don't understand what that means.
I think, to me,
so, like, that's what the internet is.
If I'm really thinking about it right now, I think it's just the value of the production. If they see it's just one dude holding the camera talking, or for streaming, it's just one camera facing a dude, and then you see the gameplay. I think, like, they don't perceive that that's a hard thing to do, so there's not a value, so they're like, why would you get paid? Where if they watch the news, oh, well, they have a desk, they have a backdrop, they have camera crew, they have... I'm like, sure, they have all that, but you pay shit ton of money to have that, to do that. So, like, you watch a shit ton of ads, buy that channel for them to be able to do that. You don't watch a shit ton of ads of us, plus on top of that, pay for the channel. Like, you just pay for internet, and you watch an ad here or two, depending whatever you have set up. So, like, just because maybe the production value isn't as high doesn't necessarily mean that, like, it still didn't take time, require equipment, have a skill. You know, it's like, if you're mad about it and you think it's easy, do it yourself.
Right.
Why don't you make a thing out of it? Like,
I mean, it's kind of the same thing as people, like, paying artists, right?
Right.
You like to do this kind of stuff,
right?
Yeah,
you like to do it, right? For free. I'll give you $1. Like, it's dumb,
right?
It's
speaking
dumb.
of production value, to go on a more company minded, more T3G minded tangent. Next Monday, 1 week from today, is the Apple thing. It's the 2019 Apple thing, and I think that should be our podcast.
It's the 2019 Apple thing?
It's the first. It's their keynote or whatever the fuck.
Oh, the keynote.
WWDC.
Yeah. Oh,
I don't know. I don't do this stuff every year.
Right.
So I don't know what the names are.
Right.
But it's one of their things, one of their events.
Yeah.
I would like to commentate live.
Commentate live on them. Oh my god. Man. I don't know if I could do that.
But because I'm thinking they're gonna announce betas. Because that's what they do.
Right.
I think if they're going to announce betas, I would like to have the PSA up. So we need two more. We need to reshoot 2 things, and then just edit and upload. I think we go up to Wisconsin tomorrow, reshoot her part.
Right.
And I don't know. Maybe if we're doing trivia or something tomorrow. I'll mic up Erica and then we'll shoot that.
Sure. I mean, yeah.
I want to get it. I was thinking about it and I was like, man.
I mean, yeah. I mean, that's.
But I would like to live because a lot of people live tweet it and stuff that are there.
Right.
Which, by the way, one of my favorite clips still is watching what the fuck's his name? The guy who made it. Steve Jobs. Watching Steve Jobs tell people to turn their shit off because they couldn't access the internet because there wasn't enough bandwidth. Yeah. I was like, he's like, don't worry, I'll wait. I was like, oh shit.
Right. I mean, yeah, we can definitely try. I don't know. Watching, unless it's exciting news, watching stuff like that just bores me. So I'm worried that it's going to be a very boring podcast. Because
I'm sorry, maybe not have the podcast be about it, but maybe still just do that. Because that happens at 11 o'clock in the morning.
Right. So
just do that.
Yeah, so if it's not anything crazy exciting, like it's gonna be a very.
But then we go in depth on it.
Falling asleep.
Because I'm thinking, I mean, they're probably gonna be like Metal 4.33 or whatever the fuck. I don't fucking know all the back end shit. Because that's the thing, they try to make a big deal out of it, but it's like. You're just adding more shit to the program.
Right. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Like, no, I mean, you know what I don't see? I don't see Unity dropping a fucking announcement every time a new version comes out.
That's the problem, man. People are too worried about...
When was the last time Unreal was like, new version, bitches?
Technology, people are too worried about releasing shit now every 6 months to a year because otherwise you're not relevant. And to me, it's like... To me, it's like, why would I want to pay you money for something you didn't really do anything with?
Right.
So...
And that's the thing, like, everything's trying to play catch up, right? The next thing is trying to do what the next thing is going to be able to do. So like the next game is trying to utilize shit that doesn't exist yet because that's what's coming out.
Right.
And it's like, I mean, I think they literally, how long is the Xbox One been out? They just clocked one of the new games at 1080p 60 frames a second. Just.
Right.
That's fucking crazy. Like, I think everything's been 30. I think that was the thing. And even at 4K, I think it was 30. I don't think, they could do 60, but none of them have.
I mean...
A lot of them were still 720.
I would have been shocked the systems to do 4K at 60 because there's computer systems that can't do 4K.
I'm saying. Like, I think there's a lot of buzzwords to try to sell shit, like 4K, right? And I laugh because, like, Andrew bought the Xbox One S,
right?
And he had a 4K TV, and then he couldn't understand why what he was playing was, or I think he was watching something.
Right.
He's like, why is it pixelated? And I was like, because the content's not 4K.
Right.
He's like, I got a 4K TV. I'm like, doesn't matter, motherfucker. Right. Like, what?
Right.
You're watching a fucking old thing, or it's like whatever. It's not broadcast at 4K.
Right.
Thus, it's not gonna appear 4K.
Right.
Like, he bought it for the 4K, but like it doesn't. People don't get
Content has to be 4K.
Yeah, people don't get it. It was the same thing.
I mean, it might make
same thing with HD. When HD first came around, and like they started filming in HD,
right.
and all the like news anchors were like, "You can see my
balls." Right. Don't get me wrong. 1080p will look better on a 4K screen, but like if you're watching something that is pixelated already, like 4K isn't going to make that not pixelated.
Yeah, if it's, I mean, like more often than not, TV is not broadcast in 1080.
Right.
So you're already starting behind.
Right. Yeah, no, I mean, it's just...
I'm like, you're not watching the HD channel, first of all. So like, if you watch the HD channel, it's going to be better, but it's still not going to be 4K. Like,
right.
That's why there are 4K channels.
Right, for sure. I mean, yeah, no, we can give it a shot and see what happens. I don't, like I said, to me, it's not... We
can play games while it's happening.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Yeah, we'll work on that. We'll debate on that. What was the second thing you want to know? You said there was two things. No?
No, I don't think there was two things.
I could have sworn you said there was two things, but...
I mean, that was two things.
I mean, I guess. That's still like a one thing.
I mean, like, the filming of the thing.
Right.
Put that out.
Right.
And then doing the podcast. Or whatever, doing the live broadcast.
Right. All right, whatever. Yeah, sure. All right.
I actually was thinking we can do it anyway. We'll talk about that. This is just fucking shop talk.
Yeah, no, this is
that's gonna be it for this one.
That's it. Hopefully, it was quicker than most of the other ones. So.
I always look over here because I'm thinking it's recording, but it's not. That's gonna be it for this one. Thank you guys for listening, for watching. Make sure you check us out, caffeine.tv/T3G Media, every week, afternoonish on Monday. We do this live so you can have conversations. We had a couple people that joined us today. Apparently, they just wanted to hang out and chill. Did not participate in conversation, but that's cool. It's cool. If you just want to watch, you don't have to wait a week to hear what we're talking about. You join us at caffeine.tv/T3G Media. That's going to be it for this one. We will see you, hear you, talk to you in the next one.
Later.